I talk to the other doctors and they are going through the same things as me. It just gives me juice. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. This is an amazing episode for you to grow. 4 principles to make your office better, to make you a better doctor, connecting with your patients, connecting with your staff. We have the closing thought of the episode. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, listening, watching. However you like us, to consume us, get the podcast. Thank you. We're continuing to grow. I love what I do. This is fun. Some housekeeping things here. Number 1, get in a mastermind group. Get in a group where you are held accountable, you share numbers, and make yourself better. I kid you not. This week, I'm going to the P3 conference in Nashville. Very excited. If you guys are interested in PERC, P3, growing your practice, getting better, being around like-minded individuals like us, let me know. I got a little preview going into the meeting, and I've grown so much in the past 6 months. And just seeing my numbers, I have more juice than ever. I saw the numbers and was instantly like, I need to push the envelope. I cannot go there and not be growing. Like, period. Just the fact that I'm held accountable, that someone else is going to see what I'm doing, I'm not the weak link. I'm going to keep getting better. And that's before I even talk to the other doctors and other people. So I kid you not, that's probably one of the best things I've done to make myself better, make the office better, more efficient. And really, I've got a million resources. My marketing game is on point. My website, my SEO, recalls, just trying to grow and expand. It's awesome. I have a strategy. Okay. In addition, I have a team that's working on with me with my QuickBooks and getting my numbers to make sense. And you would just think it's just QuickBooks. What does that matter? That's, again, I just kind of approach that as randomly looking at it. Did I make money? Did I not make money? But there's so many levers that you can pull. You need to know the numbers to know what levers to pull. So Scotoma Partners is who I work with. Again, open book. I'll give you all the resources I have to help you get better and grow your practice. These are the things I've learned 13 years later, that if you can get year 1 or right into it, it will help you. Okay? You manage what you measure, and you measure what matters. And that's the benefit of that. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the episode today and start off with a little story. And this is something that I need you guys to just listen to and realize this is my mentality when I go to the office every day. So when I played football at Saginaw Valley, I wasn't the biggest guy there, so I'm with like guys that would eventually go to the NFL. And there's this one, what we would do during the beginning of the season when we were in camp is every day, one of the senior leaders or junior leaders of the team would get a jersey, and they were in charge of, like, they were the guy. They had to get everyone motivated, get them going, get the team going. And I just remember this one day, Dan Fedrosi, he was a outside linebacker from Muskegon Catholic Central. Good dude. Good player, and he was all over, like running around, going to the running backs, going to the defense, just throughout the entire practice. The most energy I've ever seen out of a player, and it was amazing. It was contagious. He was coming around, and you kind of looked at him first, like, is he going to keep this up? Laughed at him, but he did it, and he was serious, and it got the team to practice better. Right, and I remember that, but the thing that I that really sticks in my head, because I remember running around being a crazy man. He got done with that practice, and we're all in the locker room getting changed and walking out, and he was just sitting by his locker, exhausted. Like, he was exhausted. The amount of energy and effort he put into that practice when the spotlight was on him to get everyone else to be better was draining. Heavy is a head that wears the crown. And, I don't think a lot of people, because I was one of the last people leaving. I don't know why. He was there by himself, just exhausted, right? Never said anything to him about that, but that stuck in my head. And when I talk to my staff, when I talk to patients, they're like, you are always full of energy. I've never seen you not energetic, smiling. And I'm like, yeah, I love what I do, right? I always have the answer. It's just got a ton of energy. Good. Because I know they look to me. When I look at my staff and I know they're down or it's been a long week, I'm like, I'm going to bring it today. I'm going to be energetic. I'm going to have them feed off of me. And I'll tell you, to pure fact, like sometimes they leave and I'm Dan sitting in that locker just exhausted. I'm driving home and I'm like, what's going on? I'll wake up the next day. I'm lifting weights and like in between sets. I have like a X amount of rest period between a set. And I'll just literally be laying on my weight room floor, looking up at the ceiling, being like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? But I do that internally because I know all eyes are on me. Okay? That is leadership in my mind, right? You don't have the luxury of sharing your problems with the rest of the staff, with everyone else around you. And I talk to my manager about this a lot. Leadership is lonely, right? You're alone. No one's going to care about, oh, Sally's not going to show up for work, or someone has to do this, or we're short here, or we have to develop the new doctor, or we need to get the staff trained, or the patients are complaining about X, Y, or Z, right? Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But I embrace it. I love that stuff. And that's when I was talking about like the P3. I talk to the other doctors and they are going through the same things as me. It just gives me juice, right? It's not just me. Because sometimes you look in the mirror and you're like, am I the reason? Am I bad at this? And honestly, I'm probably not the best. I've gotten a lot better. I'm going to get better every single day because I care and I try and I will. I just know I'm gonna get to where I want to be. Okay? So I hope that story resonates with you. It gives you some energy, gives some ideas that you can do, or know that everyone's always looking at you. Never complain, but get stuff done. Like I had a meeting with my marketing team the other day, and not performing at the level that I wanted to be. Instead of dancing around it, transparent. Hey, this is the issue. This is what we need to do. Talk to me. Let me know how this is going to be fixed. Got it done. It was awkward, but I felt better that we got it out of the way. Have the hard conversations, right? You're still the leader. You can still have those conversations, but remember that they're all looking at you. You have those conversations and then you have to still build them up. You still have to get them to perform and believe in you. Right? They don't want to let you down. If they don't care what you think, are you a good leader? Or are they the right people on your team? Right? Don't let them dictate that. All right, that leads me to, I got that out of the way. I think that's important, and that matters for what this topic is. And this topic is for students, cold start doctors, or a growing practice. Right? I started cold, and I've built what I've built. And I didn't realize how far I've come until I brought my new doctor on and I see her going through what I went through. It's fun actually for me to see that because I know the levers to pull. And this is my advice for you. When you have those new patients, when you're trying to grow, these are 4 things to remember. Number 1, figure out why that new patient's there. All right? There is a reason. Okay? And it's not because you're the best doctor ever. It's because wherever they were wasn't working. Too far away, bad experience. They did something wrong with the glasses. They couldn't get the contact lenses right. I still have new patients come in, and I figured out what was the issue at the other office. They'll tell you, right? They will gladly put it out there. Don't make the same mistake. Okay? I had a patient that came in that was wearing one day Oasis, one day multifocal contacts. And honestly, I think they were actually fit right. The other doctor did probably a fine job. But she didn't understand why she couldn't see as well as she wanted far away. If she took off her contacts, she could see better up close. That was an education issue, right? She heard of monovision or whatnot. I'm like, here, try this. But I also explained, you're never going to get that. This is what it's going to be, right? I set the expectation. Figure out why they're there and address it head on. Have that conversation. And I'll say, hey, I can do everything perfectly and I'm not going to get you this. They respect that. They understand that. And I'm very upfront and I figure out what they want to hear, right? Whether I can do it or I can't do it, I find out what the scratch is that we need to itch. Okay? They're in your chair for a reason. Figure it out why. Do it efficiently. Okay? And it's sometimes just say, what are you looking for in this visit? Right? Ask them. Do what they ask. All right? Number 2. This is huge. Okay? And this is something I learned really early on and I still do it now. All right? Do you, be true to your identity, true to how you practice, but don't rock the boat. Okay? Big thing for me is I'm going to do photos. We're going to go over the health and wellness of the eye. I'm going to talk about supplements, eyelid hygiene, dry eye aspect. I'm having that conversation, period. Right? We're not the right flavor for every person. However, there's things that I can control. Like I love daily lenses. I like to work right now with Elcon and Cooper, right? If they come in and they're an Oasis or they love the lens that they're in, no issues, not a huge change in their prescription, and they were happy, I'm going to keep them happy. Period. I'm not switching even though I know it's better. Right? I will win their trust. They will be my patient for a lifetime. Then I'm going to have the conversation year 2 or 3. I'm in this for the long game. You rock the boat, and you know what happens? I went to a new eye doctor. They didn't know what they were doing, and this happened. You could do everything right, but you're changing things. You're the one that's doing something different. My other eye doctor never did this. You know what? They might not have been that bad. People don't like change. Right? They may, in your mind, think, yeah, all right, I'll try the new thing. But deep down, they're like, it's already a new office, a new place. They're changing this too. Maybe I should have just stayed where I was at. Right? Get easy wins. Okay? Get trust. Stop trying to force your thoughts on them day one. Right? Build a rapport. This is how you build a practice. You don't do it by coming in and I'm going to change all this and it's about the same or it's different because they're second guessing it. You see it every day. You have a patient that you've had for years. Don't change anything in prescription. They get a new pair of frames. They think something's off. Right? No change in prescription at all. And they've seen it for years. Like something just feels off and they have to adapt to it. Right? You don't have that trust, that rapport with that new patient. They're testing you out. Know you're being evaluated by them. Like, that's the thing that I thought, like, oh, I'm a doctor. They respect and trust me. No, they don't. You have to earn that. Okay? Number 3. And this goes on the same thing. You are selling yourself. Period. Don't think just because you've worked for X amount of years that you've done X, Y, or Z or you have these credentials. They don't care. They're sizing you up. Do they like you? Do they trust you? Are you giving them what they're looking for? Right? You have to be on all the time. Dan Fedrosi, running around, get everyone psyched up, energized. It's not just your staff. It's just not just your coworkers, right? It's your stinking patients. They want to be wowed. They want to be taken care of, right? They want to come in, get what they need, get it efficiently, and get out. Like majority of eye doctors that I talk to get behind schedule. Drive me nuts, right? Worst thing you can do. And the patient gives you the grace. right? Okay, yeah, you're 15 minutes behind schedule, half an hour, been here for X amount of time. It doesn't look that busy in this office, but whatever. So they're giving you grace, right? Earn it. Sell them on you, okay? I always say I can talk a language that they understand, right? I know the big words. I know everything. When I'm talking to doctors, I have to talk a certain way because otherwise you don't get respect. Cite your source. Know the journal articles that did this. What's the evidence? Okay. Patients just want to know what works for them. In my experience, this is what I'd recommend for you based on what I've seen. Like, talk the language that they understand. Because you do this, this is what you're going to run into. You know you're doing this. Like, let's make sure we optimize that. Right? You're going to be on a screen. I will tell you to take breaks on screens. You and I both know it's hard to do. I talk to my patients all day, and then guess what I do? I go home and I'm looking at my phone. I'm in the same boat as you. Connect with them, right? But because of that, get that blue light filter with anti-fatigue guns. It will help you out, right? You're going to want to get a daily lens because your eyes will dry out, right? Or plant the seed of, all right, if you get these glasses, the contacts, you're not going to be able to see up close, right? If we change it, that's why just know if you start struggling, let me know. Plant the seed so they leave and you're like, you know what? He was right. They might call you back in the next week. They might call you back in a month. Or what happens to me a lot, you told me this was going to happen the next visit in a year to 18 months. And it did. All right, let's do what you said last year. I'm ready for that progressive now. Right? You're constantly playing the long game. And they have to trust and believe in you. Okay? Remember that. And the last thing is, this is all kind of building on each other, but you have to connect with them. I love people. I love talking to people. I legitimately want to know, like, what do you do for a living? What do you like about that? What are you doing this weekend? Where are you from? I love to have that small 5-minute conversation, and I'm genuinely curious. Yeah, what do you like about that? What are your plans for this? When I talk to college students, what's your major? What do you want to do with that? Legitimately want to know. Share details of things that I've done. Oh, yeah. You're going to grad school. You're gonna be nosing a book all day, right? Let's try to help you out with this. You're flattering them, like, oh yeah, I study hard, I work hard. No one really gives me the credit, but you get it, right? Or, when I talk to patients that where you are outside in the dirt and debris, men wear that with pride. Oh yeah, it gets dirty with that. Yeah. Are you cleaning the lids and lashes off, right? Like, hey, there's nothing we can do about your environment, but do this. It will give you better eye health. I used to think like a man's not going to want it. They care. They're coming in for the exam. They want to take care of their bodies. They know the limitations they have. Work with them. Find a way to connect. I'll talk to patients about like books, football, sports. Like you name the spectrum, and I pretty much can have a conversation about that. Working out, lifting weights, like running. I will talk about anything. I talked to a kid about fantasy novels. He was talking about how in the Lord of the Rings, Mordor or something couldn't feasibly happen. Tell me more. I want to know about this, right? I'll nerd out on that. They appreciate being able to share their interests with you. Know what people love to do? Talk about themselves. Look at me. I have a podcast where I talk about my opinions and thoughts. Why do I do it? Because I enjoy it, right? I love talking about what's going on in my life. People love that. Connect. So figure out why they're there. Try not to rock the boat early on, all right? Sell yourself and connect with that patient. You do those things, and I promise you, you will build an amazing practice. You will build a following of patients. I was amazed when we had our open house, right? Hate the idea of having open houses, right? I just want to do work, see patients, let's get on with our day. But the amount of patients that came and legitimately were happy for us, proud of me, not just the office, but me personally, because they feel invested in me. I'm one of them. Awesome. 13 years I've built that with these principles at hand. Trust me. I'm not trying to steer the wrong way. And I know, like, again, ask me questions. I am business oriented. I will run an efficient practice that will grow. But these things matter, right? I don't care what any consultant, advisor, ODs on Facebook, or whatever you go to get your stuff. These principles matter and will help you grow your practice, period. I stand by them. I do them every day. And that's the little bit that separates you from everyone else. And I love it, right? Authentically myself, but doing these things every single day. I'm still doing them. All right? That's what I have for you. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and this is a nugget that hit me this week that I thought was pretty interesting. A man will never step in the same river twice. Two reasons there. One, that river's always changing. Your environment never going to be the same. Two, that man, woman, always changing and developing. You are not the same person when you step in that river again. I don't know what that means, but it resonated with me. It meant something. So I'll leave you with that. Just know that evolution, growing, the process, I guess, I'll put it here. I've thought about this. When you think about starting a practice, when you go on this journey that we're on together, right? You're going to dream. And you know what's going to happen when you dream? You're then going to struggle, right? When you dream, you're shooting, aspiring for something that you have not achieved. To get there is going to take work. And you're not ready yet. You can get there. You're going to struggle, then you're going to fail. Some people quit. Screw that. I'm done. This is where we're at. But if you continue, you will win. And when you win, you grow. When you grow, know what happens? You dream once again. And you know what happens then? This cycle continues. Don't ever get tired of that cycle. I've been going to a lot of high school football games as of late, and I'm watching them, and I'm reliving those moments, those struggles. And as I go through trying to grow my practice, those times that I went through then stick with me now. Right? I went through that and I got to this level. I've done this. I've seen the patterns. And Will Smith, before he went real crazy, kind of the I'm going to die on the treadmill kind of mentality. Like, look at you. I'm on this treadmill. We're going to run. I'm going to die in here before I quit before you do, right? That's his mentality. He said one of his reasons for success was that he was able to recognize life's patterns. Right? There are patterns to life. This is one of them. You will go through the cycle. Don't quit. Continue. You will win. And you will grow. Dr. Lily